All right, happy Monday. Good to see you guys. Feel like I haven't seen you all in a while. I know you guys probably missed me. Any hands? None? Okay, there you go, couple. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Jesus, for another day of life. We're back in it. We're rolling. It is a Tuesday for me, but it's a Monday for everybody else as we get rolling to play UNLV on a Friday. But I'm proud of our guys. But it was a good bye week. That Hawaii travel is no joke. But it was good to kind of get some days to get our cells back in order. And we had some good practices last week, and there's still a lot of things that we need to learn and grow from that game, but especially after a bye week to be able to look at the first 6 games. I mean, we've only played half of our season. We've got 6 more promised to us. And so for us as a staff to look and see what are we good at, what are we not good at in all 3 phases so we can continue to play our best football down the stretch. And I think that's the biggest message for me to our team. And I went up and talked to our team. I said, guys, me and you have to always answer 2 questions every day. Am I improving and am I having a positive impact? Like that was my focus for our team in the bye week. Like I got to answer that as the head coach. Our coaches got to answer that. Our trainers got to answer that. Our players got to answer that. Am I improving? Like, am I in this meeting? Am I at this walkthrough? Am I in the treatment room to actually get better? Or am I just kind of trying to go through the motions? Am I actually having a positive impact? That matters to me. When I'm around someone, am I impacting them in a positive way? Or am I a negative Nancy that's bringing somebody down? So I'm proud of our guys growing because that's my message to the team. We have played 6 games. Our guys have done some really good things through 6 games. Not perfect, still a lot to improve on. And we've got a really big Game 7 coming up. It's the most important game of our season because it is the next one. And we've got to get a lot better through these practices to continue to grow, to play our best on Friday night. Because I know Coach Odom well, and he's going to have his team ready to roll in all 3 phases. They got weapons across the board, and we know this one's circled, and they'll be ready, and we need to work our tails off to be ready too. With that being said, open up for questions.
What is it about Coach Odom's program that you observe that has made it so successful the last couple of years?
I got to say, just gritty. I mean, you look at, in all 3 phases, it's just gritty. And what I mean by that, Mike, is, they just find ways to make plays, to do it for each other. They on the road beat Houston, beat Kansas, beat Oregon State, and other those are big time. I'm shocked they're not ranked in the top 25. They deserve that for sure. And they play hard. Once again, in all 3 phases, they blocked multiple punts for touchdowns. Their best players play on special teams. Ricky White, one of the best receivers in the country, is playing on special teams. Number 21, one of their best receivers, one of the top returners in the country, right? Like, that's a mentality of a team. Like, they're a close-knit crew, and they are gritty and play tough. They've been down in games. They fight their way back to go dominate and win. I got a ton of respect for how he runs that program and their entire team in all 3 phases. Like, that's what I see is this is going to be an absolute heavyweight fight. And I know they'll be absolute ready, and we got to work our tails off too. This is a really good football team. When I meet with our coordinators and I watch it holistically in all 3 phases, Barry Odom, his coaches, his players, they've bought in. They are on a mission. They know everything's in front of them. And this is a big time game. It's the biggest one for all of us because it's the next one. But obviously going down to their stadium to play them, it's something we're really excited for. But I got so much respect for him and how he trains his team. And I know they will absolutely be ready Friday night.
You brought up special teams there for a second. That almost seems like it's kind of where it starts for UNLV. And I talked to Barry Odom at Mountain West Media Days, and they play a ton of starters on special teams, including arguably the best wide receiver in the Mountain West Conference, for that matter, too. So how much does that kind of set the tone for them, and how big of a challenge will that be for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Special teams is where offense and defensive players come together, right? So I think so much of the mentality of your team you can see through special teams, and Coach Odom and his staff have done a great job. And once again, it's not just 1 or 2 guys. Ricky White's on kickoff return, one of the frontline guys. They put their best players in situations to compete and help the team. And that's a testament to how hard they work, how hard they train. And you can see that with how they've played this season. They're getting better week in and week out. And the amount of success they had on special teams, they're leading the nation in takeaways and turnover margins. So that's a team stat too. Not only do they take the ball away on defense, lead the nation in picks, they also don't turn it over on offense. And then they're one of the top rushing offense, one of the most explosive offenses in the country. They're one of the top, stop rush defense in our entire conference and the country too. So there's a lot of compliments that when you look at a team, it's not one stat or one thing. Like, you look at all 3 phases. They're a team that has talent across the board. They've done a great job in recruiting, and they play extremely hard. They're physical. They're gritty. You get something on them, they're going to stay in the fight, and I respect that a lot.
How impressed have you been with, ever since the quarterback change? That's something that could easily divide a team, but that's really, I know you and I don't have privy inside their locker room, but it seems to have brought them closer together.
It does. I mean, and to your point, I don't know the inner workings of their locker room. Like I said, I think the world of Coach Odom. But number 6, Williams, I mean, he has put the team on his back. He's made the exact plays. He's one of the highest rated quarterbacks on the West Coast right now. Makes great decisions with the football. I mean, one of the most athletic quarterbacks, and we've seen some athletic ones. He's one of the most athletic ones we've seen all year on film. I mean, it is a nightmare to get him down the pocket. And when he takes off, it's not like he's going to take off and get 5 or 6. He's taking off for an explosive run. They've got design runs for him too. He can make all the RPO throws. He can make the deep throws down the field, and he's got weapons all over the place. I mean, when you see their offense, they got a really good, well-trained offensive line, physical at the point of attack, and they've mixed in triple option looks. They got shots down the field. They got RPOs off it. They got a lot of different formations, so it's a very well-run offense. A bunch of tempo is going to be mixed in. So I think, when number 6 came in, however it all went down, like I said, I'm not privy to that. I mean, that team's rallied around him, and he's a team guy. I mean, every time he scores a touchdown, I watch TV copies to see how guys are. He's celebrating with his teammates. He's finding teammates to go celebrate with. Like, that shows that's a close team.
White is outstanding for them as a receiver. We've seen some good ones. Royals had a big game for Utah State. How does he compare? Like, maybe does he do better, or what is his calling?
Yeah, I thought Ricky White was one of the best ones in our, not just me, one of the best ones in our conference last year, and he's only gotten better. He's one of the most smoothest route runners that I've seen. He gets in and out of his breaks very well. You can run the whole route tree with him. And the thing about number 11, Ricky White, I mean, they move him everywhere. He could be at number 3, number 2, to the boundary, to the field, and he will block his tail off. We just talked about it. He plays on all the special teams. Like, he's a team guy, but he is a matchup nightmare wherever they put him. And they'll throw the ball deep to him. He's got multiple touchdowns where it's just, just like stop routes where he just give him the ball in space. If you play off, they're going to get it to him, and good luck making that tackle one-on-one. And he's had multiple touchdowns just that way. So, and number 21, Jesus, he's a dang good football player. Not only is he an elite returner, they'll put him in the backfield. They'll line him up everywhere. They'll motion him across the board. And both these guys have been there. They're seniors. Like, they know what is. They know the culture. They know what they want to do. They're on a mission, just like our team. Like, there's a lot of similarities, and this is going to be, a big time battle Friday night.
It's not the championship game, but it's got big time implications for that, for the CFP, and to have that championship game down there last year, and already have guys that have played in that stadium in a game that's meant a lot. How's that going to help?
Yeah, I think just for a lot of our guys, we've been down there. We know what it feels like to win a game. And I think on the flip side, like I said, I'm not in their locker room. I know this is a big match for them too, knowing that we were able to go. They had a great season last year, and us able to, win the championship down there is a testament to our players. And I know they can't wait to get another shot at us. And I know on the flip side, we can't wait to play them either. We have so much respect for their program. It's week in and week out. Every game is the most important game that you play in because it's the next one. And it would be no different if we played someone else, but we all know that this is a big time game. It's a big time opponent. It's in a big time arena. It's on Friday night. And especially when I watch their film, regardless of even the record, like, this is a really good football team. And I know I'm not the only one saying that. Like, our players watch it, like, Coach, this is a really good team we're playing, and we have to be our best. And that's where, like, I talked to our team multiple times this year, like, guys, I don't need anyone to put on their Superman cape to go play UNLV on Friday night. But your best is going to be enough, but it is required. That's in your prep. That's how you live your life. That's how you practice. So then we go down there on Friday because there is going to be a lot of hype and buzz and all that. It's a big game on both sides. Our guys need to prep the best they've ever prepped this week, turn the right to play their best.
Is Jackson Woodard the best defensive player you'll face this year?
I think the world of Jackson Woodard. I really do. Watching his film, me and Coach Cutter talked about him. Even just they were able to play on some days that either we were off or I was in the hotel before our game watching him. Number 7 makes so many plays. How he's trained, how he plays. I know he transferred in with Odom from Arkansas. I think the world of him. I promise you, after the game, I'm going to go find him and say I do. I'm going to tell him that personally because I just love how he plays the game. He finds a way to make physical tackles, sideline to sideline. He's, I think, first or second in the country in interceptions as a linebacker. That just tells you how much he flies around. He's a captain. I see him on the sideline. I see how he's with his team. I love how Woodard plays the game. Like, as a linebackers coach, I love how he plays the game. And I think, number 1, their safety plays relentlessly as well. The amount of, you even see in the Oregon State game, one of those forced fumbles he created on a tackle. That's a hard play to make. I mean, across the board defensively, I mean, they're tough sledding when you go against their defense. And I think number 2, one of their edge rushers that transferred in, like, he's good. I mean, he's got a lot in his toolbox in regards to his rush moves. And they play hard. When you lead the nation in turnover margin, that is a monster stat. That's not like something, it's kind of out there. That is a monster stat that directly correlates to winning games. They create a ton of takeaways on defense, and they do not turn the ball over on offense. Like, that's a testament to their team and Coach Odom. What have they done?
You brought up the Jesus just a moment ago, but you said on kickoff, you guys have tried squib kicks, kicking it out of the end zone, number of different things. Not going to ask for your plan for him, but how important is that going to be to have dialed in?
It's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen it go sideways. We've seen us grow in our coverage units too, and that's what I tell our team. It is all about us learning and growing, and we continue to work it this week. Today's a Tuesday practice. We worked on our coverage units, making sure our lane integrity, everybody doing their job, not trying to do somebody else's. On both phases, on punt and on kickoff, like, we got to do a great job covering it down. Our kickers got to do a great job with where we're kicking the ball to. And we got to do a great job in our coverage units. I mean, it's especially with explosive returners like we've seen, and I think Jesus is one of the best in the country. We got to do a great job playing together. It's not going to be one guy that tackles him. It's not. He's too explosive. That's okay. We need multiple hats there with the right leverage so we can keep him hemmed in. But we got to keep working on it. I mean, it's something that we've shown to not do it well at points, and we've shown that we can do it well. So now we got to be consistent, and that is. And I know I maybe sound even like beating a dead horse sometimes, guys, but there's so many things that you can focus on when you play a game, right? Like even you brought up, BJ, things that are maybe going to happen 2 months from now and all these things. Like, yes, all that stuff's going on and our players are hearing it. I'm getting texts and calls. For me with our team, nothing moves the needle but how you work, how you prep. And that's where all I talk to our players about that is directly, you earn the right to play your best and how you prep from Sunday to kickoff. And regardless if we're playing UNLV, who's a dang good football team, or someone who maybe hasn't played as well, it doesn't matter. And you see that in college football with what's going on. Like, it doesn't matter. Now, we've got a big-time match of one of the best teams in the country in all 3 phases. But it's our same process. That's what I told our staff. Like, let's make sure our process is improving every week. For our players, can this be our best week of prep? Because it needs to be. Why? Because it's the next one. And building that into them. So then when it gets to Friday night, I want our guys to attack success and go cut it loose. Not, oh my gosh, this is a big game. I hope I don't screw up. No, man, you've earned the right to play your best. Why? Because on Tuesday and Wednesday when no one was there, you were working your tail off. You were prepping when no one was around. Like, that's how you go cut it loose and play your best. Not perfect, but that's what we need to do in all 3 phases.
Staying on the field, has there been a dialogue there? I mean, does he feel like he's got a target on his back here? I mean, obviously you need him out there.
Yeah, we need him out there. I mean, hit lower, Tubes. Come on now, But he's no, I mean, he's our guy. And I say that, I've talked with scouts about him. I talked with media about him. I mean, you talk about a young man in 34. He's been kicked out of 2 games. One of them was, we got back that it was the wrong call, but I mean, he's our guy. I mean, he works his tail off. Today at practice, he works his butt off. But that's not a shock because that's who he is all the time. That's how he was last year. That's how he was in the spring. That's how he was in fall camp. And that's where, as a captain on our team, it doesn't matter how he feels, who we play. You are gonna get Alexander Teubner's best because that's who he is. And now him being able to continue to bring guys with him on that journey. I promise you right now, if we were to all leave, he's probably in that meeting room watching film right now with multiple safeties because that's who he is. He knows one speed. He knows only to give his best. And him being out there and staying out there is a huge part. And we just got to continue to lower strike zone.
He's always had a chip on his shoulder, but
Yep.
Being kicked out of games, do you think that adds to that chip?
It's a good question. I think for me as a coach, it's adding on, okay, we got to make sure he hits in the strike zone. And we got to continue to grow in that. I don't know if it adds to his chip or pulls away at it. That's a good question. I do know for me as a coach, it's very black and white. You got kicked out for targeting. Let's lower your strike zone so we don't lose one of our best players.
Coming into this game, it just seems to me, watching all of our games and watching their games on tape, both of these teams are better than they were last year. So where do you think you guys are most improved from last December? And where do you think they're most improved?
Yeah, I think just like anything, Bob. I mean, to put one thing on that's hard. There's so many things on a football team. There's so many plays in the game in all 3 phases that you're constantly working on improve. There's one-on-one matchups across the board all the time. From, like Jay brought up, our kickoff unit is going to be one-on-one across the board versus their kickoff return. Who's going to win? So I think just like anything, you're working to grow those fundamentals and techniques from January to October to November to December. You're always working to grow and improve. And so to say where we're improved from last year to now, I focus on where we're growing week to week. I mean, guys, I'm a firm believer. You are a new team every single week. Guys get hurt. Next man up. Carry the flag. It's college football. Like, that's the reality. No one's going to be like, oh, you didn't play well, but that's because a backup's in. Nobody cares. Next man up, carry the flag. So just like I know they're talking to their team, for us, we need to play our best game 7, because we've had 6 opportunities to learn and grow. They've played one more game than us. I told our team this. They've got one more opportunity than we do to grow and improve in their fundamentals and techniques. So we've got to make sure we capitalize in regards to how we practice to continue to improve.
You said that when it comes to Ashton, whether it be 1/2 or 5 overtimes, he'd be ready for you guys.
Yep.
All the way back at fall camp, you said that you wanted to identify everybody's breaking points. 34 touches, career high tying 31 carries. What is Ashton Jeanty's breaking point?
I haven't found it yet, Jay. I'll be honest with you. I mean, and that's a young man that he practices like it. He practices to play that way every day. Everything's tracked with GPSs, and every day Coach Hilgard comes to me middle of practice. Ash is high today. Ash is getting up. I'm like, that's Ash. And it's not just him. There's multiple other players on our team that that's our team. We don't deal with, and that's Boise State football, the blue collar, the chip on their shoulder. It's not, all right, guys, it's practice. We gotta do it now. No, that's player led. The Alexander Tubners are going out there freaking playing their tail off on a Monday morning practice because that's the opportunity they have to improve. So with Ash, I mean, he is ready to give everything for this team. Not because people can continue to talk about him, which they will, and he's deserved that, so he can help the team. Whatever that looks like, from special teams to offense to catch the ball in the backfield, getting the ball handed off to him, whatever it takes to win the game.
What is that dialogue like, though, as he gets over 30 carries, over 30 touches? And are there some guys that if they say you're good, you just kind of maybe trust them more than whatever the GPS is and stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, and you see your guys and how they train and how they've built themselves for that. We've had a lot of practices to October 20, whatever. Like, we've had a lot. So we can see these guys in regards to how their bodies are trained and what they do to where the output they can have in training them so they cut it loose and play fast and explosive on games. And Ash is one of those. So obviously in game, it's always a feel to see, okay, when does he need a breather? When does he not? But I know the opponent we're playing and every team, we respect all, fear none here. Like, we know this is going to be an absolute battle. I mean, the only loss they have this year is in double overtime on a crazy ending, right? I mean, this team is battle tested that we're going to play Friday night, and that's a testament to how they train in all 3 phases. And that's what we're going to tell our team, like, this is a heavyweight fight. These guys will not back down, and they will be on the attack in all 3 phases. We need to be ready for that, and we need to be on the attack in all 3 phases.
Margin, I mean, obviously they're getting a lot, and you guys haven't been able to get a lot defensively yet. You only have 4 offensively, so I guess you're at least not losing the turnover battle. But how long can you sustain this where your defense is just not getting takeaways? I mean, how bad do you start getting?
Yeah, but we need to, and it's something that we just like any stat. I use stat to not to either pat yourself on the back that you're doing something well or be pissed off about it. It's how do we grow this? And for me as a coach, there's got to be ways to rep this and change. And we're working our tails off at it, from how we drill it in practice to how we rep it in drills to how it's repped in team situations, because we need to create more takeaways on defense. We've had 1 interception on the year. Can't happen. I think UNLV's had like 15 or 16. Those are huge plays in the game. And so we need to create more takeaways on defense. And so we're training it, we're working on it, and it's something we have to improve. And hats off to our offense, not turn the ball over. We've had some situations where it was close, so we got to continue to work our ball security, but we got to take the ball away on defense, and we got to secure it on offense.
I assume that you don't spend a lot of time looking at top 25 polls, but when you hear that Oregon's number 1, any kind of emotional reaction based on how close you came to beating them on the road?
Yeah, I mean, I don't pay attention a lot to those things. To your point, I think it's a game that I've learned a lot. We've had to learn a lot even since game 2, Mike. And I think just like anything is, we had every opportunity to go win that game, but we didn't. And if they're the number 1 ranked team in the country or they weren't, those are still the lessons we need to take away from it. And so no different for our team. There's going to be lessons that we're going to learn this Friday night versus UNLV. So looking at it, I think just like anything, it shows like, guys, we can go beat anybody. I learned that week, but we didn't. We didn't make the plays enough. They beat us. End of story. And so that's no different whoever you play. Like, it's all about what do we learn, what do we grow from. And for me in that game, like, I learned a lot from that game, from issues with special teams on offense and defense, and how to make sure we make the plays that we make. Because at the end of the day, you lose on a last second field goal like we did Oregon, or you lose by 50, you still lost the game. And there's going to be different lessons learned, no different when you win a game. Like we talked about Hawaii, like, we won that game, proud of our team battle. There's a lot from that game we need to continue to learn and grow from. So looking at it, Mike, I don't pay attention to the outside. I try to focus very, very streamlined, fire hose focused on what moves the needle and what helps our team grow. And that's my messaging to them. I think at the end of the season, we really go back and self-scout and look at some games. It might bring some different emotions back. But I know even in the bye week, it's strictly one play at a time, from special teams to O&D. What are we doing well? This fundamental is really good. Let's keep up how we're doing it. This schematic is really good. Let's keep it. This isn't. We got to grow this. This is what we're giving away. Got to change it. And at the end of the season, we'll probably look back and have some different thoughts on each game and the emotions that come from it. But right now, it's all about how we're growing from week to week.
Just with the turnovers, with how many UNLV have compared to you guys, can you identify maybe what they're doing that maybe you guys aren't doing as well? I guess what's the disconnect or the difference there?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job playing with, great vision in the back end. They've created a lot of interception. I mean, Jackson Woodard, a linebacker, having 4 or 5 picks. It's usually, I think, number one has 4 or 5 picks themselves. So them together have 8 to 10 picks somewhere in there by them just themselves. I mean, they're doing a great job playing off QBIs. They're doing a great job catching the ball when it's thrown in their direction. They have relentless pursuit on defense, so some tip balls are in there. They're getting them. They're creating a lot of forced fumbles by how hard they tackle and how hard they play, and they're getting those fumbles. So there's a lot of things you can look at that we need to improve on defense in regards to how to create these takeaways. And obviously, it's on film that UNLV does a much better job than us.
2 sacks by Shea against Hawaii. I think it's now 7 sacks by your secondary this season. When you're getting more than just your linebackers and ends in there, what does that do for your defense, and how well are you liking your blitz packages?
Yeah, it's a huge testament to the plans that were put in place and our guys buying into it. And no different. I mean, we've done a really good job creating pressure and confusing quarterbacks and creating sacks. But that is not just a testament to the guy that got the sack. There's a lot from. There shouldn't be anywhere to throw the ball, right? And there's a lot of times in Hawaii that our DBs did a much better job from the week before to where there's nowhere to go with the rock. And so then the quarterback's got to pat the ball, and what happens? The rush is able to get home. But a guy like Shea Oladipo, especially, I mean, Shea hadn't really played a lot of dime prior to that game. Alexander Tubner goes out, we had some issues. Shea goes in there and has 2 sacks. I mean, that's a testament to him as a senior, playing well, getting better, not perfect, growing, had to deal with a cast to start this season. Like, that's a blue-collar Boise State football encompassing moment for me, is Shea Oladipo going out and playing the way he did.
You talked about having to kind of manage and pay attention to what Genty has going on outside and be careful with certain things. How's that going?
I think just like anything, Johnny, we're working through it every day. And I meet with him. I meet with our media team. Like, we are in Ash's life to protect him and keep him focused on what matters most, which is him being a 20-year-old, him focusing on being the best football player he can be, the best student he can be, the best young man he can be. For me, even the best young man of Christ he can be. Like, I talk to him, like, what are you feeding yourself? I'm not talking food. Like, what are you feeding yourself? Are you listening to the right things? What kind of podcast you in? Have you been going to church? Like, I want to help surround him, because the amount of influences pulling at him that want his attention, I can't even imagine. I know what I'm getting, and I'm not Deuce, and I can only imagine what he's getting. But he's such a phenomenal young man and teammate that it is my job to protect him, to make sure that the time that he does give outside sources for either media or time, we got to be very calculated with it so he can still be a 20-year-old that's focused on continuing to grow.
When it comes to him, again, your being here is a big reason why he's here. So after you got hired, when was the first time you spoke with Ashton? Was it in person, on the phone? And just how did that conversation kind of go for you?
Yeah, Ash is a young man that when he was 17 years old and he early enrolled here, like, even as the defensive coordinator at the time, he's just such an engaging young man, right? Like, I remember we went to church a couple times when he was a young freshman, and I just so blown away, not only on how he was as a football player. I mean, he walked on campus as an early enrollee and was scoring 70-yard touchdowns against our starting defense. So first I was frustrated with him. But he's just such an engaging young man. He's got a smile that'll light up a room. So our relationship was growing. I was very, just so impressed with who he was, even coaching on the other side of the ball. And then when I took over as the interim, even getting to know him on a deeper level and seeing how much he loved this team. And it wasn't about what's he going to do at the end of the season. It was about the team finishing the season. And then him staying here, even with all the outside pulling him to leave. He wanted to be committed to this place, leave a legacy. Just our relationship has even continued to grown every single day. And I'm impressed with him every single day. I tell my wife that, there's times I go home and just what either he says to the team or his actions, who he is. There's so many days that I'm blown away by who he is as a young man. And he does some things in the field that I think the country's blown away at, me included. But every day that I come to work and see how he is as a teammate, every time we meet, it's all about others. It's about the team. It's about how he can help this guy grow and what he's seeing. It's not about Ashton. It's about the team, and that's why it's a testament to him. And he's a humble and hungry competitor that I've grown to be very impressed with. I'm excited. God has an amazing plan for his life in football, but even more importantly, off of it.
Social media has a lot of fun with Ashton, the way he stands up straight up in the backfield. Yeah. And I think a couple of your other running backs do that. Is that a strategy thing? Is that an eyesight thing? Yeah. Why is that?
It's a great question. You're gonna have to ask Coach Jamo about it. I promise you, when he runs, I don't coach him one bit on how he stands. He can stand however he wants. That's a good question, though. I've much people have asked me, and I'm like, I do not have the answer to that. That'd be a good question for Coach Jamo. I love how he does it though. Now it fires me up. All the Mike Myers or whatever it is tweets have me cracking up.
With regards to the short week, obviously having last week off to prepare for them, does that give you a bit of an advantage, you feel?
I think just like anything, you could look at it both sides. I'm a firm believer in you only grow in playing this game by playing it. And so right now I look at UNLV as they've played 7 games. They've got one more game to grow and improve in all 3 phases more than we do. And so I've told our team, we're playing from behind the count. We got to improve. We got to grow because they got one more opportunity than we do. And hopefully we handle business in the bye week and in our prep, focusing on us growing. So you could look at it both sides.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.